My name is Steve Kerber, the director of the UL Firefighter Safety Research Institute. And over the last decade, we've been conducting research with the fire service to examine fire dynamics and firefighting tactics. More than 100 experiments have examined the changes in the fire environment over time, the impact of ventilation-limited fires, the implications of flow control, and effectiveness of suppression tactics. These experiments were conducted with firefighters from across the country from departments of different types with varying levels of staffing, resources, and operating procedures. UL studies have produced tactical considerations that have become common themes over several studies that may change the way you view your standard operating guidelines. So come to my class, the top 20 tactical considerations from firefighter research at FDIC 2017.
Hi guys, welcome to the newest episode of FireFighterBasics with me, Bupi Disura. And this time, I'm going to share with you the top 20 tactical considerations, and we'll be counting down from 20 to 1. And every episode, I'm going to share with you one from the top 20. Okay, these top 20 tactical considerations from Firefighter Research was presented by Steve Kerber, the director of UL Firefighter Safety Research Institute in 2014, and in FDIC 2017, or the Fire Department's Instructor Conference in April. He will again be one of the speakers and will talk about these top 20 tactical considerations from Firefighter Research. And this Firefighter Research, the tactical considerations, according to Steve, is that these are tools that can be used to share science in such a way that firefighters can connect it with their experience and then integrate it into the department's operations. Because we know that science and tactics or experience in science are two different things, and we must bring science into the street, because if you cannot bring science into the street, then it's a waste of time. And so the Underwriters Laboratories has been conducting research with the fire service for a decade now, from 2006 up to date and counting. I think they are still studying with the water mapping experiments and the air entrainment research. And the mission of the Firefighter Safety Research Institute is to increase firefighters' knowledge so that they can better serve the communities they swore to protect, reducing deaths and injuries and keeping them safe while doing so. Because again, the purpose or the objective of the fire service or the fire department is three things: life safety, incident stabilization, and property conservation. And that is also the purpose of this unique supplement, the top 20 tactical considerations from Firefighter Research. So basically, these considerations are based on the modern fire dynamics, because I think the modern fire dynamics has been the focal point of the research, how it affects the firefighters' line of duty deaths, and how can we effectively and efficiently suppress this modern fire dynamics or behavior that we are facing right now. So fire dynamics is the study of how chemistry, fire science, material science, and mechanical engineering disciplines of fluid mechanics, and heat transfer interact to influence fire behavior. So in other words, in short, fire dynamics is the study of how fires start, how fires spread, and how fires develop. So remember, this is according to Steve, no? There is a difference between tactics and theory. So I said that, no? Practical applications must be developed by your department. So that's why if we are developing our tactics or practical applications in our department, we should consider, that's why this tactical consideration, we should consider this research or these results of the research coming from the UL and the NIST. And engineers don't have all the answers. They can test every possible configuration. Correct. Why? Because every fire is different, and there are so many configurations and variables that are in every single fire incident. So it cannot be tested all of the configurations, but the principles, the fire dynamics or behavior remain the same. For example, the principles of, for example, fire creates heat, heat creates pressure, and high pressure moves to low pressure. So that's the principle, and it doesn't change. And another example is fire, our heat and or fire rises. So of course, no. At isa pa, fire follows the path of least resistance. So it's a given, no? That sa flow path, if we are talking about the flow path, so the fire will always follow the path of least resistance. So the more we understand why, the more efficient our tactical choices are, and better the chance we learn from our experience and improve. Kaya lang, kasi yung Bureau of Fire Protection tsaka yung Fire Service dito sa Pilipinas, kahit na siguro sa buong mundo, no, the Fire Service is very rich in tradition. So kung ano ang natutunan sa mga nauna, no, sa mga predecessors, yun din ang tinuturo sa mga baguhan, no. So because it's tradition, no? And sometimes when things come out and it's something contradictory to what has been believed to be the no, kung ano yung ginagawa na akala ng iba, no, ito yung rule of thumb. So nung lumabas itong research, no, there are some people who cannot tawag dito, hindi matanggap, no, na may ano pala, no, may kakulangan yung yung mga tactics na siguro mga 50 to 100 years old na, no, na ginagamit. And by the way, no, ang fire ground nowadays has been different, no, considering the fact that the fire ground or the fuel load or the house or the home is puno ng synthetic materials. Ano ba yung synthetic materials? Synthetic materials yung mga plastic, foam, etc., etc., no, na mas mabilis masunog, mas malakas yung heat release rate, at mas toxic yung byproducts, no, yung smoke. Okay, so dapat yung tactics natin dapat adapted sa modern na fire ground. Okay, and ito lang, no, ang overview ng UL for Fighter Research from 2006, structural stability of engineered lumber under fire conditions. Dito nakita yung mga kung paano yung kalakaran, no, sa pag build ng homes, tsaka paano nagre-react yung mga, kaya kasi dati yung ginagawang mga bahay or mga structures are from old growth lumber. So later on it becomes new growth lumber because of high demand. Yung mga hindi old growth, new growth, tapos may mga manufactured na mga or engineered lumber, no? And then kung ganyan, no, paano ito maka-affect, no, sa collapse. Okay, so may research na niya, no, na comparison ng old growth versus the new growth and the engineered lumber, no, yung mga I-joist, C-joist, etc. etc. And in 2007, firefighter exposure to smoke particulates, no, ito isa sa mga research na nagpapakita ng firefighters are one of the most vulnerable when it comes to different kinds of cancer because sa sinasabi ko nga yung smoke, no, kung ano kadami yung mga toxic materials sa smoke. Okay, next, the impact of horizontal ventilation. Okay, yung horizontal ventilation, bintana, pinto. Okay, 2009 for firefighter safety and photovoltaic systems. Okay, how do we address or how do we fight fires coming from a solar panel or photovoltaic panels? And I guess yung tactics natin dito medyo up to date pa naman, no? Using broken streams. Okay, and 2009 also basement fires. So ito yung isa sa mga pinaka maraming line of duty deaths, no, mga bumberong namatay because sa basement fires. Kasi it should trigger awareness if yung apoy nasa ilalim tapos ikaw nasa taas because you are in the flow path, no, sa exhaust. Kasi nasa taas ka, doon papunta yung init tsaka yung apoy because nga na principle natin, heat rises. And 2010 impact of vertical ventilation, no, yung pagbutas sa bubong, dito rin nakita na you can't vent enough in modern fireground because kung yung rule of thumb dati is 4 by 4 feet, no, ito ay sa sa United States na setting. Okay, 4 by 4 feet na opening sa vertical ventilation, hindi pa rin makasustain, no, or overwhelmed pa rin yung butas, hindi makasustain na papalabas yung lahat ng usok, no, na nasa loob. So they designed a 4 by 8, pero in some fires kahit yung 4 by 8 feet kulang pa rin. So that's why they said na you can never vent enough because ang apoy, no, we'll go to this in details pag sa mga sunod na ito ay overview lang. Yung ventilation na tinatawag ay ngayon na modern fireground, it's ang apoy nagre-react not so much on the fuel, or I mean nagre-react siya sa how much air that we are introducing to fire. If we are opening doors, windows, breaking glass, and opening the roof, no, vertical ventilation, so it just makes the fire grow bigger and bigger. And then FDNY Governor's Island testing with FDNY and NIST in 2010, no, ito sa isang island. At ito po ay isa sa mga pinakagusto kong research, no, at pinanood ko po yung halos lahat ng videos ng Governor's Island. And then 2011 attic fires. Meron din dito yan sa top 20 tactical considerations. 2012 positive pressure ventilation in homes. Okay. 2013 fire attack, nozzles and pushing fire. At ito po yung pushing fire, ito po yung pinaka na debatehan na grabing debate, no, sa pushing fire, because it has been the tradition and it has been the rule of thumb na wag kang mag-flow ng tubig sa labas because you can push fire from the burned area to the unburned area. Tsaka that's dangerous sa mga occupants, no? Tsaka sa firefighter na nasa loob. At ito po ay sinabi ng research na hindi po totoo na water can push fire. Okay? It's not the case, no? And 2013 also firefighter exposure. 2014 training fires, bridging the gap. Ito po rin yung yung training natin bilang mga bumbero, volunteer man o tsaka career, no, BFP. Dapat po yung at least, no, yung training natin dapat medyo realistic kasi sa training sa tower or sa dito sa live for training natin, sometimes ang mga nakalagay yung gulong, tapos basura, no? Isa totoong bahay, hindi naman gulong tsaka basura ang nasa loob, eh. Okay. Tapos kung ano pa, kasi po controlled yung environment sa training. So the instructors have the responsibility to explain that what you to the students that what you experience in the training center would be different from what you would be seeing in the real fireground, no? Ganyan. 2014 firefight exposure and training. 2015 burn patterns and fire service ventilation. And 2016 proposed fire behavior in townhomes. At nga, sa sinabi ko nga, may mga unfinished pa sila na experiments tsaka research, yung sa water mapping experiments tsaka yung ano yung isa, water mapping experiment tsaka I forgot, sinabi ko kanina eh. Tsaka yung air entrainment, no, gamit yung mga hose na yung nozzle natin, either straight stream, narrow fog, broken stream, or wide fog, no? Kung how much air does our nozzle introduce into the structure, no? Na yun nga, no, pag finag mo yung window gamit yung fog, your wide fog or yung narrow fog, or yung pag O mo ng mabilis or Z or T ng mabilis, you can entrain air, no? Saka kung may tao sa loob, siyempre akala niya na pupush mo yung fire, pero it doesn't. Okay. Next, the thing about science is that once you understand how things work, you can also understand things that you have not yet experienced. Ako po ay isang bumbero na naka 5 years pa lang, no, nung December. At some of these things that I am talking about, I have not experienced them. But because of this research, I understand how things work and understand these things even though I have not experienced them myself, no? Some of them I have, but some I really did not experience myself. Okay. No individual at a fire can truly know the conditions throughout the building. Siyempre pag nasa apoy ka o pag nag-fight ka, siyempre limited naman yung ano mo eh. Unless siguro pag nasa labas ka, kahit nasa labas nga hindi mo makita yung kung ano ang nasa loob, no? But sa firefighter research, may mga ano sila, may mga tawag dito, data collectors, no, gamit yung mga paraphernalia, yung init sa 1 foot above the floor, 3 feet, 5 feet, at saka yung 7 feet, no, or sa top most ng ceiling, no, sinusukat yung init, at saka how it, how our stream, our tactics affect the fire environment. You simply can't ever know enough or know it soon enough, and you certainly can't afford to wait for experience alone to educate you. Okay po. Bilang mga bumbero, volunteer man o career, so dapat po, sinabi nyo kanina na to be efficient firefighter, we have to learn the research on modern fire dynamics. Ito na po ngayon ang trend, no? Hindi na po yung pumunta ka ng fire station, tapos mag-prepare ka ng mga hose and nozzle mo. Okay, that's good, no? But you should remember also that not all fires are the same, no? Kasi po pag kung yung nasa isip po natin palagi ay yung mga bahay na susunog o yung mga structures na nasusunog ay puro light materials, okay lang yun, no? Pag kahit na mga hindi nakatraining siguro mamamatay yun, yung apoy, kayang mag-firefight, no? But when it comes to complex fires, no, yung mga tight, no, yung mga closed na structures, no, kung saan doon makita talaga yung mga yung flow path. Okay, once na you open a door, once you open a window, once you flow water, you use the wrong stream. Okay, so doon mo makita yung isang taong may nakapag tawag dito, naka-understood, no, ng research. Okay? At dito po, so sa mga results ng research, if you hear never ventilate, because sabi nga ng research, kung nag-ventilate ka, lumalaki yung apoy, which is true, no? And never go inside, because sabi nga ng research, it is not always that we should fight fire inside. Sometimes the best way to fight fire is to flow water where it can reach the seat of the fire fast, or at least knock down the fire, no? Always throw water from the outside. Okay, never go over a basement fire, kasi sabi ng research, pwede kang mahulog sa basement kung nasa taas ka, no? Never go over a basement fire, kasi yung apoy nasa ilalim, nasa taas ka ng basement, dito ka, so pwede kang mahulog. Tsaka isa pa, sabi ng research, nasa exhaust ka ng flow path. Ibig sabihin, yung apoy papunta sa kung saan ka man. Okay? Tapos, never vertically vent. Kasi, sabi nga ng research, forcing the door or a window is considered as ventilation, no? Itong isang maganda din sa research, nakita nila, although some siguro before pa, no, pagbukas, usually pag stop in sa front door, no, pag open ng front door, we just let it open. Okay, doon nag-stretch ng hose papunta sa loob, and without considering na we can control the door, no, to limit the air and to limit the size of the fire. Okay, so isa yan. Never vertically vent. Everything you did in the past is wrong. Okay, so kung ito yung understanding mo, or ito yung naririnig mo, sabi ni Steve is, you are not listening. Okay, excuse me lang, kuha lang ako ng tubig. what you should hear or be thinking is that it is rare that always and never applies. No? Kung ano man yung tactic na na-apply mo effectively sa isang fire incident, it doesn't mean that you can apply it to all fire incidents na susunod, no? And on the other hand, no, if a proven tactic did not effectively put out a fire in one fire incident, it doesn't mean that it will not work out in all of the succeeding fires. Okay, that's why we do that. Glad I have been doing it. Okay. That could work for my department if we train on it. I can use this information to be more educated, aggressive than ever to. Number 1, put the fire out faster and more efficiently. Okay? So, ito po yung take away natin, no, dito sa Philippine setting. Kasi, konti po yung fire stations natin in relation to one another, tsaka in relation to population, no, tsaka yung structures, no, sa mga bayan. At konti yung tubig, yung mga hydrants, no, dito sa amin problema yung pressure ng tubig sa hydrant. And I guess some parts of the Philippines are also suffering from the low pressure, no, sa mga hydrants, and then have less of a chance of getting hurt or killed because sabi nga, you have to be not only aggressive but also smart aggressive, no. It's knowing when to attack and it's knowing when to retreat. The problem with our setting is we are always taught to go forward, no, to attack, and not so much on the defensive, no, backpedal. Okay, so that's also one of the takeaways, no, dito sa research. And third, reduce the chance victims hurt or killed. Kasi if you consider na ito po tayo na mga bumbero, tayo po ay protected, no? At least may limited protection tayo sa ating mga PPE. Okay? We will discuss that later. And so how much more yung mga victims na nasa loob na unprotected, no? Wala silang mga PPE, wala silang knowledge how to isolate themselves by closing the door between the fire and them. Okay, so it's, I think, the best part or the best way to reduce the chance of victim getting hurt or killed is to fight fire fast, no, yung fast water na tinatawag. Okay, so the moment we stop and stretch a hose, no, wala nang dili-dali, no, flow. Okay, but you should also consider kung saan ka nagpo-flow, and nandito yan, no. Wait lang, we will tackle that. So number 20, okay, we start the countdown. Number 20 lang tayo ngayon, yung 19 sa next na naman. Number 20, no amount of technology is going to replace the need for you to know your profession. Again, no amount of technology is going to replace the need for you to know your profession. Kasi yung iba maraming gamit, okay, maraming equipment, so kala nila they're on top of the world na. Hindi nila alam na yung lahat ng gamit ay may limitations, at it behooves upon us to know these basic limitations ng mga equipment natin, especially our PPE. Okay, knowledge, no, kahit na anong technology, ano kabago, kung wala naman tayong knowledge, it will just be a technology without basic knowledge of them. No? So, according to Steve Kerber, experience, number one, knowledge, and the desire of our fighters to implement what they have learned must come together so that research can be weaved into the fabric of local realities. No, example, staffing, equipment, and response time. So, tatlo, no? Experience, knowledge, tsaka yung desire. Kaya nga po, yung mga experience, dapat, yung mga veterano dapat come out of their shell, yung mga knowledgeable, yung sila yon. Tapos yung may mga desire na mga bumbero. Ako siguro dito, no, yung may desire. Hindi ako experienceado pa, hindi naman ako knowledgeable. Okay? Oh, namatay. Sorry po, namatay yung yung ilaw ng cellphone ko. Okay. Sabi ko nga, no, yung experience, knowledge, saka yung desire. At ako po ay dito sa mga may desire lang, no. Kasi po, di tayo experienceado at knowledgeable. Okay? Pero tatlo yan yung kailangan para ma-integrate yung research sa mga tactics and experience ng mga bawat isa. Okay? New technology, no? Ito sa picture, makikita ninyo yung, kung nakita niyo itong black and white na suot ng mga bumbero dati, parang raincoat, one piece lang. Saka in later on, no, yung introduce yung mga synthetic materials, no, na integrate sa mga PPE natin, no, mas naging fire resistant yung mga PPE. In 1970s or 60s, 70s ba, yung ECBA, no, yung self-contained breathing apparatus, no, naging gamit ng mga bumbero. At hindi lang na-limit yung bumbero sa labas, kundi na yung inside the fireground, no, has become the playground of the firefighters because of the emergence of the breathing apparatus, no? But we should know also the limitations of this BA. Okay? And then the apparatus, no, yung mga ladder trucks natin, which can reach how many floors, no? Saka yung thermal imaging camera, okay, may mga limitation din yan. Okay, yung mga fog nozzles natin, adjustable, constant, saka automatic, no? Yung isa pa, yung mga hydraulics natin, yung mga spreaders, cutters, combination, yung mga circular saw, okay, saka other pa, no, yung may mga penetrating nozzle, at yung positive pressure ventilation, no, yung mga fans, at marami pang iba, no. If you have subscribed to some magazines, no, yung for Fighter Nation, for Engineering, saka yung iba pang magazines, no, maraming mga introduce sa fire service na mga pinakabago, no, na technologies na pwedeng gamitin sa fireground. Okay? But ito po yung mga, at least, no, mga basic natin na dapat each firefighter should know, no, yung pump discharge pressure. Ako po, yung first episode po ng FireFighter Basics is about pump discharge pressure. At kung hindi nyo po napanood yan, i-type nyo lang po yung pump discharge pressure by Bupi Distura at lalabas po yan, no, sa YouTube. And the next, effective nozzle reach, no, standard nozzle pressure. So, ano kita yung nozzle pressure, okay, at ano yung standard. Ang GPM, gallons per minute. Yung second video ko po sa FireFighter Basics was about standard nozzle pressure, different kinds of nozzle, and yung GPM. Friction loss, I think it was discussed in friction loss sa pump discharge pressure, no, sa episode 1. And then yung deck gun, okay, the importance of deck gun sa modern fire dynamics, kasi Big fire equals big water. Small fire equals small water. Big fire equals big nozzle. Small fire equals small nozzle. Okay? Tsaka yung turnout gear natin, no? Yung limitations. Yung weight, okay? Pro, yung pinaka-importante yung limitations, no? Ano yung sa operations lang? Ano yung how many degrees Celsius can our PPE absorb, no? At ano yung yung watch out, okay? At vis-a-vis sa flashover, okay? Can our PPE withstand the heat coming from a flashover or sa post flashover, no, na init, okay? And then yung ECBA natin, yung ECBA, ano yung pinaka weakest link sa ECBA natin? It is the yung face piece natin, no, yung material, no, yung fiberglass ba yan? Okay, yan po yung pinaka mababang fire resistant na sa PPE natin, no? Yung sa BA, okay, yung face piece. Saka may research po yan, yung nest, no, of how much heat can it absorb, no, before it breaks down. And then irons and spreaders and ladders, no. Wala pong nakaka lang, kasi pag tinawag natin ng sarili natin na bumbero, tapos hindi natin alam yung baril natin, yung nozzle, tinatawag natin na kung ano-ano dyan, na anong nozzle, no? Lahat ng nozzle, okay? Or lahat ng nozzle, mystery nozzle, okay? Diniscuss po yan sa kabilang video, yung second video ko about sa GPM, friction nozzle, tsaka nozzle pressure, okay? Specific types of training coupled with a solid understanding of technology can better prepare firefighters for the challenges presented by the modern fireground. So this according to Steve. At ito po yung isa sa mga tumulong sa research by his ito po isang bumbero din, no, sa Los Angeles. I think chief siya, no. Tumulong sa sa experience niya, no, at dami rin siyang mga realizations, no, na yung mga myth, no, na develop niya since before this research, na sabi niya ever since I was believing that this tactic is the best way to fight fire, or the best way to save lives, but it's not, no. So according to Derek Alconis, for a firefighter to be able to leverage technology to perform more effectively requires knowledge of how to use it, knowledge where to use it, and knowledge of its limitations. How, where, and its limitations. Knowledge is the key. And in a structure for fighting context, knowledge means understanding how fires develop in enclosed structures. It means keeping one's knowledge current, no, dapat updated. It means understanding the UL and NIST research and how to apply the findings tactically to save more lives and protect more property. So wow, no? The best. So yan po, no? Sa number 20 pa lang po tayo, and we have 19 more tactics to go. Okay, so with that, thank you very much for listening and watching. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, and if you wish to be updated or to be notified of my new episodes of Firefighter Basics, please don't hesitate to subscribe and click the bell beside the subscribe button so that you will be notified when I upload some new videos, no? About the top 20 tactical considerations from firefighter research. And once again, thank you and